Hello everybody, welcome to Pickups for December 2016. Now, as you can see, I'm sure my camera finally came in. I got an email saying it was scheduled to come in March, but thankfully it came in much earlier than that. So that's fantastic. I'm just gonna hop straight into it right away with the first one. I got Zelda Ocarina of Time 3D, the Nintendo Selects version on the 3DS. I actually like this port of it a lot. It did some funny things, it took some things away, and it added some things that I thought were a little funky. But the first time I played it, well, the first time I played through it, I should say, I noticed that on the load screens, something that I always liked is they would have the death counter. And they took that away. I have no idea why, but they took away the death counter on the loading screen. I thought that was kind of funky. They added in something new as well. It was kind of cool. They're called, I think, Sheikah stones is how they're pronounced. They were basically like get out of jail free cards. They helped with quests and they gave upgrades if you missed them and things like that. So they were kind of cool. They also added in a sort of, I guess you could call it a boss rush mode, where if you beat a boss and you slept in a bed, you could then go and fight that boss again, which was neat. I thought it was alright. I think there's 8 bosses total, and the Master Quest is also on this, which is cool. I'm sure there's a ton more things that I'm forgetting, but that's just what I can remember off the top of my head. So next up we have one of my favorite games, actually. It's called Topshop. It's a really different game. It's for the PS1. It's kinda like Monopoly, but instead of going around like a board, you go around in this mall, and there's open spaces, and you buy the spaces in the mall, and if another player, I think there's 4 players max, even AI, and if another player rolls and lands on your shop, they have to pay for something that's in that shop. And it's like a capitalist game, I guess you could say. You buy something in stock for your store cheap, and then you sell it to someone who lands on it for more, and then whoever has the most money at the end is the winner. It's I think it's a lot of fun. There's not really another game like it on the PlayStation 1. I think it's a complete hidden gem. And if you're looking for something that's like Monopoly, then I would suggest that. Then next up we have Twisted Metal 4. I'm a huge fan of the Twisted Metal or Twisted Metal games personally. I always have been. I think they're a ton of fun. Even 3 and 4. A lot of people, well, I shouldn't say that. A lot of people like 3 and 4, but they were developed by not the original developers. They were developed by Sony development team. What was their name? I don't know if it has it on here. It was some numbers. I can't remember exactly. Oh, 989. 98, right? 989? It's something like that. It's like 989. It's 3 numbers. I can't remember exactly what it is, but Rob Zombie is not only music in this game, he's also a character, which I thought was really funny. But I think there's 13 characters total, maybe, or 20. It says right here. So there you go, 20, I guess. And yeah, Rob Zombie's Dragula. There you go. He's cool. This game's fun. You all know what a Twisted Metal is, I would assume. It's a lot of fun though. And then we have Asteroids, which is basically just a direct port, which is fun. I like Asteroids quite a bit. I think it's a ton of fun. I've always enjoyed the Asteroid games, so I don't have a problem playing these. PS1 port, it looks pretty good too, if you look at the graphics on the back of it, which you can finally do with this camera. It's so nice. You can actually look at the stuff. So much nicer. Then we have Matt Hoffman's Pro BMX. I've never actually, well, I might have, but not from memory, played like a BMX game seriously in any way. So it's kind of neat to have something like this. I haven't tried it yet, but I plan on it. I've got a bunch of other games that I'm going to try before it, of course, but it looks pretty neat. And then this one I bought exclusively for the cover, just because the cover is so funny looking. It is a Sierra game, which is also the reason why I got it. It's just funny. It's for the PC. It is a mini golf game, but I think it looks really funny. I've never actually seen it before, but I don't know, I think it's funny looking. I also love the way the disc looks. But it's a Sierra game. If I see a Sierra game and it has a sick cover, you know I'm getting it. And then this next one, I just got it because it's in this sweet holographic slip sleeve. I came across a big old bunch of sports games, as I usually do when you're looking through games. You usually come across 1,000,001 sports games. So I got Madden 07. I have no idea. I'm not a sports kind of guy, so... Oh, I mean, I'm not a football kind of guy. I'm a sports kind of guy, but not a football kind of guy. I'm more of a soccer and hockey. But regardless, I picked up a bunch of NCAA games because these ones are kind of neat, and I don't foresee them making them again. So it's kind of cool to have them. I don't know if they're going to make more basketball NCAA games, but I know football is on at least a temporary hiatus. So I picked up a bunch of those in case I ever want to play them in the future. I don't have plans to play them right now, but if I want to, I can. If I, for whatever reason, get an urge to. And I picked up a couple wrestling games. I always thought these were funny. I'm not good at them, but they're really fun to play with friends. It's like a sit-down, sort of, on the couch, play it with another person. Again, I'm no good at them, but they're funny. Usually they're so bad they're good, because I'm not a wrestling fan whatsoever, but, you know, you take what you can get. This one is Top Gun. This one's kind of weird. It's, the controls on it, I tried this one, and the controls on it were really janky. They were loose. They didn't feel right. They weren't very good, to be honest. It's fun, though, if you can get past that, if you can learn to play it. It's actually a fun arcade shooter. It's not a flight sim whatsoever. It's, like, totally arcadey and off the wall. There's 8 planes. I'm just counting up the plane names. There's 8 plane names. There's 8 planes that you can fly in. It's fun. I'd recommend it. Then there is Call of Duty 3 with a big old slash mark down it, but I don't really care about that. I've never been a fan of the Call of Duty games for their multiplayer, so for the most part, I don't even play the multiplayer Call of Duty games, but I do like their single player. They have some fun single player missions. They're pretty good shooters if you just take them single player wise. I actually think they're a lot of fun in single player aspect. I mean, I'm sure I would enjoy them multiplayer. I don't like multiplayer games in general for the most part. But next up we have Gran Turismo 3, which is, again, this one's actually is a hardcore sim. This is a driving simulator, or a racing simulator, I should say. This one's actually a lot of fun, though. It's a lot like Forza, but of course these Gran Turismo games came before Forza, but these are just the PlayStation exclusive ones. They're fun, though. I do enjoy these quite a bit, and I'm not a driving game kind of person. I like them, though. Next one's a game I've actually been looking for a little bit. Unfortunately, someone ripped or cut off or whatever the plastic part of this case, but I don't really care, because I just want to play the game. It has the manual in it, but it's FIFA Street. It's probably not a game people look for at all, to be honest with you, but I really like the FIFA games, and this is a really underrated sub-series of FIFA. This is one that's all about, like, just skill moves. If you've ever played the games, you just do a bunch of tricky skill move things. It's the closest thing I can say this is to would be like NBA Jam. It's like a not so serious game of a serious franchise, I guess. I mean, NBA Jam isn't a serious franchise, but you know what I mean. It's a non-serious game, but it's a ton of fun. And I'll move on to the last couple of things. I picked up a couple of amiibos. There was, at Best Buy, a 2-for-1 sale, so I got Mega Man, who is actually a really nice looking little dude there. I think he looks really good. Surprisingly so, because Mega Man, I don't know, I think he'd be kind of hard to make as a little statue like that, but they did a pretty good job. And then the second one, I actually like this one a lot. I think this one's way nicer, is Samus. I've actually been looking for the Samus one for a long time, but I finally found it at that Best Buy, which is not really the place I would expect to find it, but I did, so that one's really neat. I like this one a lot, actually. I really like the colors. And that's all I got. I really like the box as well. I love the boxes on these amiibos. So thank you very much for watching, everybody. I know it's a short one, but I actually got the video on my new camera, so I'm pretty happy about that. And this is probably going to come out towards the end of January because, well, it is the end of January, so that's when it's going to come out. And I want to do that because I can then just film the January one, because I have them all right over there. I can do that, and then put out the January one February 1st is my plan, so I'll hope to see you then. Thank you very much for watching, and see you then, I suppose.